Hello, this is Alethea Rains with Alethea Rains Photography and the Photographer's Connection, and today I'm going to go over how to do a double exposure in Photoshop. I'm going to go ahead and show you the before, and we're going to do this super quick, so it's not going to be long and boring. You basically pick a background that has a nice white background on it. If you don't, you may end up having to paint some of your other image off where you don't want it. But it's the easiest way to do it is to choose an image that already has a pretty white background. Pick an image. I picked this one. Let me go ahead and show it to you in normal. I picked an image. Let me go ahead and delete the layer mask. This is set to normal. Okay, I have it blended and that's why it looks so funny. Let me go ahead and fix that for you. I'll go back. There we go. Okay, just pick a random image, something that you want to do, whether it be nature or another person or an object, and you're going to set that layer to lighten. And what that does is it blends it into the darker areas of your image, and you can see here that it blended in really well with her black hat. And you can still see little bits and pieces of it on the white, and there's a really easy way you can get rid of that. One way would be, of course, to do a layer mask and paint it off, but I find it a lot quicker and easier to just go over down to the FX down here that you see down here. Click on it, go to blending options, and you're going to do the underlying layer because that's what you want this to blend with, is the underlying layer. Do your Alt Option, drag that triangle over until it disappears, and then you're good to go. This is one way to do it, and then what I would probably do is after I blended it, I would go in with the layer mask and maybe paint a little bit off of her face. But this is a really easy way to do it. It's super fast, and it does work better if you use an image that is already with the white background. A lot of people will actually make their image black and white, and I can go ahead and show you that real quick. You go down here to your adjustment layers and just do a black and white layer and kind of play around with it, and that looks pretty cool too. Like, it adds like a pop of color, but you can also drag that up and clip it, and then it adds a neat little black and white double exposure, and you can have them both black and white. You can do just one. It's really up to you. It's all artistic perception. There's another way that you can do a double exposure. This is the quick, easy, straightforward way of doing it, but you can also do it another way. Let's say I have this image, and I personally preferred it in black and white, so I have it already set to black and white. I'm actually going to bump this up just a little bit because I'm not digging the... There we go. Okay, and then after I've already set that to black and white, I pick another black and white image, and I set it at a really low opacity. I have it set to normal, and I set it to a low opacity. I have it at 48%, and then I create a layer mask, and initially it had her eye, and I will show that to you. I didn't like the way that looked, so all I did is simply made a layer mask, and I painted it off. It's very simple, and you do it. You start with a very... I'm doing this at 60%, and that works, but you just kind of like paint back in what you want to show through better. And you can kind of do like a double exposure like this. If we did this, let's turn this off, and let's say I want to, let's merge visible. If we set this to lighten, I'm going to go back up, and I'm going to set this at 100%, get rid of the layer mask, and we can see what would happen if I set this to lighten. It still does the same type of double exposure that we got with the other image. And we still have an eyeball over her, so I would take this and I would paint it off. And you get a more kind of an edgier type double exposure doing it this way with the lighten method. But you can also just take the reduce the opacity down a little bit, and that also works as well. It's a very simple procedure. It's very easy to do, and the more you play with it, the better you will get at it. If you have any questions or comments, or if you want to post some of your double exposure pictures, just go right on ahead over at the Photographer's Connection and let us know if you enjoy this tutorial. Thank you very much.